A lot of fun. It made my job really easy too. I had a lot of fun here. Hope you guys did too. Did you guys have fun? Yeah. Alright, that's good. I like to hear that. They listened really well. Alright, we can start with the individual awards. Gavin Riley.
Cookie.
He listened really well too. He's probably one of the more competitive kids. You have fun? What was your favorite part? What? Okay. Ready? Freddie's a really nice guy. He likes helping others. You have fun, right? What was your favorite part? Everything?
Sitting is fair.
Yeah. Max. Pretty good, Max. He's a really nice guy. He also likes helping other people. What was your favorite thing? Feedback? Yeah, that's pretty fun. Anderson. He was super helpful. He always picked up balls for me. And he was really nice. No, we're not done. We're not done with you yet. What was your favorite thing? There, buddy. Everything? That's great. Thomas. Thomas has a big heart. He's really kind. You have fun, right? What was your favorite part? Gavin. Gavin was really competitive and made sure everyone else had a lot of fun. What was your favorite part? Rate it.
What was his favorite thing?
He's really fun.
I couldn't hear him.
It's a really great grade. It's hard to tell it too. What was your favorite part? Charlie. This guy really likes winning. What's your favorite part? Kingston. You really like baseball? What was your favorite part? Wyatt. Wyatt made it a lot of fun. It was great to be around. Great kid. What was your favorite part? Hockey, you're up. Hockey? Hockey was really good. Feedback? That's all right. I hope you guys had a lot of fun. You guys want to take a picture with us?
Kevin, where's your bat? Coach Dan and Coach Mike and Coach Ross. There he is, Coach Ross. Let's give it up for all of our outstanding Reds baseball and softball camps leaders and coaches. I want to also thank all of our family members. Thank you so much for making the Reds baseball camps a part of your summer this year. How many of you, and kids and parents can raise your hands, how many of you have made multiple trips for this event in the past? So it's nice to have you back. For a lot of our campers, we have a tremendous return rate, which we really appreciate. So again, we know you have a lot of options out there. We're very grateful that you selected this one, with the proceeds benefiting our tremendous Reds Community Fund and our baseball, softball, and education programs and our Reds Youth Academy, which is nearby. And we hope you've had a great time here at the ballpark on a Friday. How many are coming to the game tonight? Awesome. All right, well, you know, when you get there, we're going to have to cheer for our special guest. You guys ready to cheer for Spencer Steer? Okay, before we get to that, a few thank yous as well. Our Reds Community Fund staff, Jack O'Flynn, Jake Ware, Thomas Lombardo with us tonight. Give these gentlemen a nice round of applause. And we have Kate Wilson, who is our official team photographer, helping us out. Kate, thank you so much for being here. Let's give Kate a nice round of applause. All right, before we start with Spencer, of course, the MVP here with the Reds organization when it comes to our camps is the guy that's with us every week that helps us coordinate a lot of the activity and each of the special Reds guests out of the clubhouse. And that is Reds coach Freddie Benavides. Let's hear it from Freddie.
Yeah.
A former big leaguer and longtime coach, former Reds draft pick. Has worn just about every hat there is in this game and in this organization, and we're so lucky to have him. Freddie, this guy Spencer Steer, man, he showed up a couple Septembers ago to trade with the Twins, and we knew he could play some infield. Hoped he could play some outfield, knew he'd give you good at-bats, but talk about this guy's versatility since he arrived and made an immediate impact that night, going 2 for 2 with a homer and a double.
We talked about it a couple weeks ago with one of our other players, but you just don't know how valuable Spencer is to our club. I mean, he's an everyday player. Not that he's a utility player, he's an everyday player that plays multiple positions. It's important growing up that you play multiple, but this guy plays first base, left. I mean, he's played third base for us, some second over the past couple years. I mean, I think he's a college shortstop. He hasn't done as much this year with us, but it's important. It's important to us to have a guy like that because it always allows Tito to always put a hot hand in the game. You know, whether you can put him in the outfield, bring another first baseman, plays first, we can play another outfielder, wherever it may be, and that's how valuable a guy like this is to our club. And it's been amazing. It's been a trade that our scouts knew what they were doing.
Yeah, they did pretty well with that, but we won't get into the specifics. I got to ask you this, Freddie. How many of you remember a first baseman here, Joey Votto, I think it is? There was a year where Joey he was absolutely determined he was going to win a Gold Glove. And of course, when Joey put his mind to something, he did it. But before he could go out and win a Gold Glove, which he did in 2011, he came out to the Reds Youth Academy, which was fun for us, and he brought Freddie with him. And they put in a ton of work to take Joey from being a good first baseman to being a Gold Glove first baseman. So I got to ask you this question before we get going with Spencer. How many of you watch and listen to Reds games and hear the Reds broadcaster say, Spencer Steer's got to be in the conversation for a Gold Glove at first base? Have you guys heard that? I've heard it a number of times. Freddie, for a guy that plays so many positions, have you been even a little bit pleasantly surprised by the fact that he's excelled so much at first?
Not that I'm surprised. I mean, the work that he puts in, everything that he does, he should be a finalist 100%. I mean, Right now, you're number 2, I think, on the defensive metrics behind this one guy from Atlanta who plays a pretty good first base. But he's a top defender in the game. He's worked his tail off to get where he's at, and he'll tell you right now that there's still a lot of work to be done. There's still more work from his picks, his movement, but he's been unbelievable at first base for us. It's been Gold Glove caliber defense.
Freddie, thanks for being here. Thanks for all you do. Let's trade mics here. All right, are we ready to hear a little something from Spencer? All right, Spencer, let's give everyone a little bit of background. From Southern California, got drafted out of high school in 2016, but wound up at the University of Oregon, then drafted by the Twins, and was rising quickly in the Twins organization when you arrived here during the 2022 fall. Had a great game out of the gates. When everyone started to like Spencer Steer, like, wait a minute, who's this guy that walked twice, homered and doubled in his first game? That double was a walk-off too, wasn't it? No. Oh, leading off. Okay, you scored. I don't mean to give you too much credit. From that point on, the 2023 season here, man, was magic. It was so much fun. You were such a big part of it. Had dealt with some injuries last year and some injuries heading into this season. But boy, you're back on track now. Got the average all the way up to about 250, 11 homers. How about the year that Spencer's had so far? What do you guys think? Now you're a Colorado native, but what's does Cincinnati feel like home for you now?
Yeah, I mean, every off season, it's nice to get a little break, but I feel like about a month in, you start missing being here, and it definitely starts feeling like home. I spend more time here than anywhere now, so yeah, it always feels nice to come back for Reds Fest and stuff like that, just to get a little taste of Cincinnati in the off season. So love everything about this place.
Talk a little bit about your decision had the opportunity to go pro after high school, and you chose the University of Oregon. Kind of talk everyone, a lot of our young student athletes here, through what that process was like for you and your family.
Yeah, for me, I wasn't ever going to be a high pick, so it wasn't really a hard decision for me. I also, looking back, I wasn't nearly ready enough to play baseball at the professional level, and that's why going to college was so big for me. I really developed as a player, and really developed as a man. It was the first time living away from home. You deal with that homesickness and just kind of learn how to live on your own and all the the discipline that comes with that. The crazy schedule being a student athlete. You learn a lot about what it takes to take your game to the next level. So those 3 years I spent at school at Oregon were just massive for my development.
So you're rising up through the Twins organization, and late August, early September of 22, you find out that you have been dealt to the Reds organization, and we were going through not the easiest season in 2022, and you arrived here with an opportunity to make a name for yourself with the Reds. What was that like to be dealt and to land in Cincinnati? Kind of talk us through your mindset at the time.
Yeah, it was really just a huge blessing, and didn't feel like it at the time. When you get traded, it's your kind of whole world gets flipped upside down. So I was with the Twins for, I think it was 4 years at the time, so you really build some really good relationships over those years, and you lose, the opportunity to be around people that, really feel like family. So, that was just a huge mixed bag of emotions, excitement for a new opportunity, but sad leaving such a good group of people. But Reds gave me an opportunity not a lot of people get, and that was an opportunity to play every day right when I got here. And they gave me a chance to fail and figure it out, gave me runway to figure it out myself. So that's something that I don't take for granted, and that's an opportunity not a lot of people get. So just to really just feel a lot of, just really grateful, really, for this organization and what they've done for me.
Does everyone like Spencer's hat that he's got on? Kind of cool. Is that the hat they're going to be wearing tonight? No, they're going to be wearing the City Connect. Either that or the handsome new Reds Community Fund hat that Jack's got on. All right, so I'm going to ask maybe another question or two, and then I'm going to lean on all of you to let me know if you have questions. I'm not going to be able to get to everybody, so apologies in advance, but you guys, I want you to ask the big questions. What do you think of Spencer Steer this year? Is there one game that stands out? Because there was a pretty cool thing that happened here last month. Padres game, Friday night, 3 home runs. Yeah, that was a cool night, wasn't it? Although, you know, Nick Martinez, Freddie, had to, take a no-hitter in the ninth and take the spotlight off a guy that hit 3 home runs. Good problem to have. Spencer, what was that night like? Man, you've had some huge hits for this organization, some memorable home runs, walk-off home runs. But what was the 3 home run game like back against the Padres?
Yeah, it kind of felt like one of those games where everything kind of just came together. The swing was there, the timing was there. I was getting good pitches to hit, and wasn't missing them. So it's kind of just one of those games where you feel like you're locked in, and you're not in the box thinking about a million different things. You're just kind of keeping it simple. So it kind of helped me jumpstart a good little stretch and kind of get myself back to where I feel like I can be and the consistent player I can be.
All right, one more question here. I'm going to need some help on this one because I'm thinking, again, all the big hits that Spencer's had since he arrived and became an everyday player with the Reds back in 2022. And even though this year included 3 home run game against the Padres, there was another game against the Padres a couple summers ago. Do you guys remember that game? Yeah. Do you really? Yeah. What happened that night? You guys are good. Yeah, that was, Freddie, you remember that night? That's, McLean tied it in the 9th, right? And then, and then Spencer walked it off. Do you guys remember what happened to Spencer when they were celebrating that walk-off? Well, that happened, I think. What else happened? Remember what he had to get out of his eyes afterwards? I think it was pickle juice they had to clean out of your eyes. What was that, man? That was such an exciting stretch of baseball you guys were playing that summer with the 12-game winning streak, and that wasn't even a part of the win streak. But what was that night like for you? An extra inning walk-off home run. That thing, I think, was an upper deck shot.
Yeah, I mean, all we're trying to do every day is win, right? Ending a game in walk-off fashion, especially a homer, just kind of sealing the deal. Yeah, it's a feeling like it's the best feeling in the world. That's really the only way I can describe it. It's the best feeling in the world. Seeing all your teammates huddled around home, just fired up that you guys just got a W. Yeah, it's just no better feeling.
Why do you have to hurt each other so much when this moment's happening? Just let them breathe.
It's part of the love.
Part of the deal. Okay, first question. We're going to go to Grant over here. If I call on you, if you would, please stand, and then I'll hand you the mic. Make good eye contact there with Spencer, and you're up first, Grant.
So, Spencer, how did it feel to go from the Twins to the Reds with no friends? It was probably very lonely.
It actually wasn't lonely at all. Everyone here just kind of welcomed me with open arms. I feel like I made friends right off the bat. It's definitely tough leaving your good friends behind. I still keep in contact with them. It's not like I never talk to them anymore, but I spend more time with these guys than my own family. So they really become family quickly when you're with them every day for as much as we are. So, I'll never forget walking into the clubhouse here for the first time, how welcome I felt.
Brando's great question, right? You gotta have friends to play with. What's your name?
Nolan. How was getting drafted by the Twins in 2016 while you were in high school?
So in high school, I got drafted by the Indians. They were the Indians at the time. But yeah, that was a dream come true. As a kid, all I wanted to do was play in the big leagues, and that's all I wanted to do. So getting that opportunity and seeing your name drafted and getting to celebrate that with family was pretty cool.
All right, we got a young man over here, looks like dealing with a right arm injury. Oh, hold on, what's your name? Maxwell, what happened to your arm? Oh, growth plate. Okay, what's your question for Spencer?
Why did you go to Oregon State instead of going straight to the MLB?
Why did you play at the University of Oregon instead of going right to the MLB? You referenced that a little bit earlier.
Yeah, I felt like it was a pretty easy decision because one, I didn't feel like I was ready to play professional baseball at that time in my life, and I really wanted to get that college experience, going to a school like Oregon, playing for legendary coach George Horton. I didn't want to miss out on that opportunity.
And like you said earlier, how much has that helped you with your growth as a player and a person, just off the charts?
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be here today if I didn't have that experience and that development I got in college.
And Freddie, not everyone can go to college in Texas, right? I mean, not everyone. What is your name?
Ethan.
Ethan, you got a question? Yeah, stand up, let's go.
Many people here say that you're their idol. Who's yours?
My idol? Honestly, my dad. He's pretty much taught me everything I know. Taught me what it's like to be a man. He's an extremely good example of being an excellent husband, an excellent father to me and my three brothers. I couldn't speak enough about what he's meant to me throughout my life.
Tell us about those three brothers. I know when the Reds played in Anaheim or play in LA, you have some nice family moments. You've had some great reunions over there.
Yeah, so I have a twin brother, and then I have two older brothers who are twins. So, pretty cool little family dynamic and an awesome childhood growing up with, three brothers. We're all, I think they're 21 months older than we are, so we're all pretty much same age. So yeah, growing up was a blast with them.
You guys ever heard of twin sets of twins? You have?
Right.
Wow, I don't hear about that very often. What is your name, my friend?
My name is Amon, and my question for Spencer Steer is, how nerve-wracking is it when you get your first at-bat in the majors?
Good question. Yeah, about as nervous as I've ever been. Which is crazy to think about because you worked your whole life up to this moment. You think, I got this. But that moment's pretty cool. There's really nothing like it. You only get one debut, so I really try to just enjoy it and soak it all in, and whatever happens. But yeah, that debut, that first at bat is you feel weak in the legs, like it's like nerves you've never felt before, but it's good nerves. But I still think about that day.
I would think so. That day I mentioned earlier, came up 4 times, 2 extra base hits. I guess scored the game-winning run, right? And got on all 4 times. So couldn't have gone a whole lot better. I mean, after the game, are you like, oh my God, I can't believe all this happened?
Yeah, no, it didn't really soak in for a while, what just happened. But yeah, I guess you kind of got lucky.
Well, you know what they say about luck. You got to earn it. What is your name? Daniel. You want to stand? Here you go.
What's your favorite moment playing in the MLB?
It's got to be so far my debut. Just I had a ton of family here, and getting to spend that with them and pretty much everyone who's sacrificed a ton to help me get here. So able to share that with them and see the smiles on their face, and get to go out and eat dinner with them and kind of just spend time with them that weekend was incredible.
Congrats on that. All right, we have a young lady here. What is your name?
Eliana?
Eliana, you want to stand up so everybody can see you? I like your sunglasses. Don't crush them. What's your question for Spencer?
My question is, what's your favorite player and why?
Who is your favorite player? We're going to do this in 2 parts, Spencer, because you mentioned your dad as your role model. Who is your favorite player when you were growing up in SoCal?
Favorite player growing up? So I lived about 15 minutes from Angel Stadium, so I went to a ton of Angels games growing up. And one of my favorite players on that team was Garrett Anderson. He's not a super well-known player, but he had just the sweetest left-handed swing. Loved watching him hit. And then David Eckstein was another one. I was never the biggest kid growing up, and he wasn't the biggest guy, so I always kind of looked up to him as well. And so those two guys I really enjoyed watching growing up.
Did next time win a World Series with them?
Yep.
Okay. And you're probably going to get this question when she asked who's your favorite player. Talk about maybe some of those connections now in the clubhouse, guys you're really close to now.
Yeah, I mean, the first guy that comes to mind is Friedel, just because, we've been close ever since I got here, but he was one of the first guys I met in AAA when I came over. So me and Friedel we kind of hit it off early, and he kind of welcomed me in AAA when I first came over here, and then when I got called up to the big leagues, he was here as well. So I've spent a lot of time with him, and yeah, he's an awesome guy.
All right, let's see. Xavier Michael, are you up for this? All right, stand up. What's your question?
When did you start taking baseball seriously?
Great question.
I think probably high school. That was when I was only playing baseball. I played a ton of sports growing up, but once high school started, that's when I really just focused on baseball. And in SoCal, you're playing baseball all year round with your high school team. It's not just spring. You're playing in the summer. You're playing in fall leagues. You're playing in winter leagues. So it's a pretty big commitment once you start high school in Southern California. So that's when I really started to run with it.
What other sports did you play?
A little bit of soccer, played a lot of basketball, and then I played like flag football for a couple of years, which I enjoyed.
All right, how many of all of you play multiple sports, playing more than one sport? How many of you play more than two sports? Pretty important, isn't it, Spencer, that you're getting other sports, building other muscle groups, psychologically probably good not to just sit on one sport. Do you like to see all those hands go up?
Yeah, I just think if you're specializing in one sport at 7 years old for the rest of your life, I think you can get burnt out, and I think it kind of takes a little bit of the joy out of the game, to be honest. So I think the more fun you can have with it, the more sports you can play, the more people you get to meet, the more friends you make, all that kind of stuff. I think that's why it's important.
It's a great answer. Okay, what's your name? Ian, stand up.
Who's the hardest pitcher you ever faced in the MLB?
Good question. There's a lot of guys. A lot of guys are tough to face. I think the nastiest stuff I've ever seen was when Blake Snell no-hit us here last year. The stuff he had going that night was probably the nastiest stuff I've ever seen. I could talk to you for hours about who's nasty, but I'd say that's probably the one that sticks out.
Great question. We're going to come back over here. Hello? Talia, ready? You want to stand up? This is Talia.
How old were you when you wanted to play baseball?
How old were you when you wanted to play, and maybe when you started to play?
Good question. I think I was about 3, maybe. It was when my older brother started t-ball. And I went to their game, and I saw my older brothers playing baseball, and I was like, I want to do that too. So I think I started the next year after that, so pretty early.
Good question. What's your name?
My name's Andrew, and out of all the positions that you play, what's your favorite?
Favorite position? I mean, my all-time favorite shortstop. I love shortstop. It's just you're in every play. You're so involved and so in tune with the game. You're probably the most important guy on the field, besides maybe catchers. So, all-time favorite position, shortstop.
Speaking of shortstops, what has it been like for you to watch the arrival and evolution of Red shortstop Ellie De La Cruz.
Yeah, man. He's obviously a really special talent. And that was very obvious from the first day he got here. But I just think the most impressive thing is just kind of how he deals with media really well, in my opinion. He's really good at understanding who he is and how important he is to this team. And I think that's pretty special to do at such a young age. I think his maturity level is beyond his years. And then obviously we can talk all day about his talent on the field, but yeah, I think, you know, he's not the loudest guy, but he's a leader in the sense of how he goes about his business on a daily basis and leading by example. So yeah, for how young he is and the publicity he gets, the fact that he's able to do that, I think is really impressive.
All right, Rick Cooper, you want to go first here? You got a good question? Here you go.
What was the worst injury you've ever gotten in the MLB?
Oof, knock on wood. Haven't had too many bad ones. Yeah, I've been lucky. Never been on the IL before, so hopefully it stays that way.
So don't want to focus on this too much, but had some shoulder stuff going on into the off season. Didn't get rolling here until the end of spring training. So thank goodness you were ready to go for the start of the regular season. But how tough was it for you, really not having that full spring to get yourself ready for the start of the regular season?
Yeah, I mean it was a huge challenge. Baseball it's a tough game, and if you don't see pitching for a while and you just kind of jump right in there against big league arms, it's tough. It's tough to start with, and when you put yourself in that spot, definitely not easy. So never been an excuse, not going to use it as an excuse now. So you just gotta wear it.
All right, Freddie, I got to ask for a head nod from you or a quick response. Everybody, you remember when spring training was wrapping up and the Reds were trying to figure out the last-minute roster maneuvers this year? Remember that? And I remember Terry Francona saying, boy, I love Steer, man. I love him. I want him to be ready. He said, but I don't want to put him in a position where he's not comfortable. And Freddie, even though he didn't have a ton of bats, or many at-bats at all in the spring, Spencer said, hey, man, I'm needed. Let's go. What does that mean, Freddie, to a coaching staff in a clubhouse where someone is willing to make that type of statement?
I mean, it just shows the player that he is. He's a gamer to talk about, right? Like, this is a guy we know. He was still better than what we're going to throw out there. He didn't have a spring training, basically. His first month of the season was spring training for him. And he struggled out of the gate. He struggled out of the gate swinging the bat, not typical Spencer Steer, like the way he swings the bat. But it just goes to show how unselfish he is for this club and what he did for us, and that's what we needed. And we needed his defense out there. He made it, got through it, and now it's starting to get hot at the right time. So it's been great for us.
Cooper, you see where you went in one question, man. Thank you. What's your name?
Riley. Were any of the kids that you grew up with going to the MLB, and what's your favorite color?
Favorite color?
Yes.
I'll start with that. It's blue. It's my favorite color. And
it doesn't have to be red, everybody. It's okay.
I feel like I'm the lucky guy that made it kind of out of my childhood friends. A lot of my friends played baseball through high school, and they had other interests, and went to school, and now they're working. But yeah, I consider myself very lucky to be doing what I'm doing.
Two-part question there. Nice job, Riley. Oh, it looks like he's got a third, but we're going to come down here. What's your name?
Sadie.
Sadie, stand up. What's your question for Spencer?
What was the very first position you've ever played?
First position.
Good question. I feel like in T-ball, we kind of just ran after the ball, like there weren't really positions. It's probably the best answer I can give you.
What's your name right here?
Rory. What was your favorite sport as a kid when you were growing up?
My favorite sport was football. My dad played football. I never played tackle. He never, wanted us to get into that with all the safety reasons. But I love just playing like two-hand touch football in the street or even tackle in the grass with some friends at a park. So I love playing football growing up.
You gonna be checking out any of the Olympic flag football activity?
No, yeah, actually, is there flag football in the Olympics?
Isn't there now?
Yeah, I'd watch it.
Thanks, I thought I put myself in the bad spot there. All right, Brody, you ready? You wanna stand up? Here you go.
How did your debut feel to you?
One thing I've told a lot of people when they ask about my debut is the entire day leading up to the game, I was crazy nervous, like couldn't eat, just like nerves on a level I've never experienced before. And then once I kind of ran out on the field and the first pitch was thrown, like a sense of calmness kind of came over me, like I'm still playing baseball, it's still the same game. So I think that's kind of the best way to describe my debut, was just crazy nerves all day, and then once the game started, it was almost like that's the calmest I've been all day. So,
Spencer, did you have a chance to talk to Andrew Abbott about his experience last week at the All-Star game?
I did, and yeah, it sounded amazing. It's a place we all want to be. So,
did he talk about what it was like when he was warming up and kind of how he felt, and comparing that to maybe his first game action in the bigs?
You know what? I haven't asked him how he felt. I just kind of asked him about the overall experience, and like I said, that's where we all want to be. Everyone wants to be in the All-Star game. It means you're playing pretty well. So I think he really enjoyed just kind of the festivities and like the celebration. And then obviously it's pretty cool to throw a 1-2-3 inning in a game like that.
Did you guys get to watch the All-Star game? A little bit? That's an honest answer. What did you think of Andrew's inning? Were you watching then? How many people were watching when Andrew went 1-2-3 through the American League? He was throwing what? Some nasty stuff. That's hard to argue. Yeah, and Ellie, too. 2 years in a row. Isn't that cool? Okay, what is your name? Ellis, you got a question? Here you go.
Who is your favorite player on the Reds?
I think I already kind of touched on it. Me and Frito have been really close from the start.
What's your name? Nolan. How about you? You got a question?
Why did you choose your jersey number?
Good question. My freshman year at University of Oregon, I was number 13, and I had a really bad year. So I was like, I need to change to lucky number 7, and then I've been that number ever since. So.
You know what, everybody? We are going to go ahead and transition down to the dugout. So you guys asked great questions today. You've been listening, and awesome, especially in such hot weather. So thank you so much. And families, parents, again, let's give Spencer a big round of applause. Thank you guys. And a big round of applause for Reds coach Freddie Benavides. All right, if there's something you didn't get to ask Spencer, you're going to be sitting with him in the dugout here shortly. When you're done with the photo, give him a fist bump or a high five too, but not too hard. All right, thank you all so much for being a part of the Reds Baseball Camps here in 2025. And thank you to our staff once again for making it possible. Thank you to the Reds grounds crew for their support over the years. And thank you once again to our terrific leadership team of Coach Mike, Coach Dan, and Coach Ross. We're going to hand it off to Coach Ross.
You guys enjoy getting to talk to Spencer? All right, how would you like to get down to the dugout and take a picture with him? Does that sound good?
Hey, Coach Ross.
All right.
I got to bring something up here. I'm seeing my guy Cameron Boggs. And Nigel Davis here too. Where's Nigel? All right, these are two representatives of the 2021 Reds Nike RBI 18U team that won the World Series and brought the Larry Doty Trophy for the first time to Cincinnati as champions. These guys are champions on and off the field. I wanted to say hello and greet them and all of our coaches. Our Reds Nike RBI teams are in Pittsburgh today. The juniors and the seniors both won their first games. The seniors came back. So this is a big part of what we do is playing at the MLB RBI level. We have two of the very best here, so I wanted to say a quick hello to them.
All right, we're going to start with Fisher's Camp first. Team Votto, you can go ahead and make your way down there. Head on down. Hey, guys, keep those jerseys buttoned up. We're going to get a picture down there. We want to make sure we look our best, okay? So button them up, tuck them in.